Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cosmic Convos. This is Cassie. I am back to share a special message today. This is a conversation that I would love to expand on in the future and possibly do a podcast with other people involved. Before I get into the message, in the lower right hand corner is cosmiccassie.com, my website, if you want a personal reading or if you have an idea or suggestion for topics you would like me to cover or just briefly talk about. cosmiccassie@outlook.com is my email. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. This podcast or this conversation, I named The Art of Healing in the Process of Release because I'm going through something right now and I'm having an epiphany moment, a realization. And I really wanted to share it because it's pretty profound. And I think that it's something we could all realize and it's something we could all practice. And it would greatly benefit anyone who's able to kind of explore it and experience it. So typically, when it comes to me losing things like anyone else, I feel like it's a loss, whether it's a relationship, a job opportunity, a friendship, finances, money, anything that you can think of that makes you feel like you're losing something. Not necessarily saying that you have to be in lack energy, because sometimes you don't fall into lack energy just because you're losing, but you do feel like it's being taken from you. And any hopes, desires, dreams, anything like that that was associated with whatever that thing is also feels like you're being robbed of. And a lot of times, spirit will guide you in different directions just for it to not end the way that you expected it to end. So I think there's a lot of confusion and there's a lot of heartache and pain that attributes to it. And it's really difficult to kind of move through those emotions when you feel like this is where you were guided and you felt like everything was saying this is the right thing to do. So right now I'm going through an experience in my life where I typically would interpret it as loss. And I've been getting a lot of synchronicities and messages for myself. And I think in the collective energy as well, because through the readings that I'm doing with clients, this energy does show up. At least recently it does. And that energy and synchronicities messages that I was getting is that I need to learn to process a new way. There's a lot of endings coming in, a lot of transformation, new beginnings, things like this. And I was taking it at face value, okay, so there's going to be endings, there's going to be new beginnings, there's going to be opportunities, there's going to be things I'm going to lose. And I realized it's more than that. It's more than a materialistic or physical loss and gain. It has a lot to do with how we process our emotions, how we look at a situation, and the energy we allow to come in. As some of you know, I do tarot readings on YouTube for free for each zodiac sign. And one of the patterns that I've noticed with tarot readings is, you'll listen to these tarot readers and they'll tell you, wow, there's this great ending coming in or this new beginning that's happening. And it hit me, and I kind of realized it's not that the tarot readings don't resonate for some people or that they're not true, that these things aren't coming in for you. A lot of times we miss the point on how to get to the place we need to get to receive it. Sometimes we think it's like, okay, well, I just have to cut off this toxic behavior, this toxic habit. I need to be more open to new opportunities. I need to get out more. The experience that I'm going through right now is giving me a very different perspective, and I want to share that. The perspective that I've gained, and I'm still in the process of gaining and exploring and understanding, so I may follow up on this once I'm kind of moved through the process a little further. But instead of experiencing the loss that I feel that I'm having right now, I chose to approach it a new way. And I'll get a little detailed for you guys. When it comes to losing people in my life, relationships, intimate, non intimate, doesn't matter. Usually, when those connections come to an end, there's a moment of acknowledging and accepting that this isn't going to continue. I usually will just let it be that. And I thought that was me healing. And I thought that was the proper way to move on from it, was to let it be just what it is. And I disconnect from that person and I move on and I heal and I get back into my own energy. I release, the relationship. I mourn it. I grieve it. I lost, you know, everything with it, and that's fine. And then I overcome it and I keep pushing forward and moving forward. But it always kept this kind of heavy feeling that stayed with me, of feeling like, why do all my relationships kind of end in a poor way? Why do I experience the endings of these relationships anyway? Why can't I just have stable relationships? Again, it doesn't have to just be romantic and intimate, but why do I keep experiencing these endings with people that I genuinely enjoy and thought I would have a future with and would be a part of my destiny, my soul path, my purpose, things like that. And right now I'm going through what I used to call an experience as a loss. And for the first time, when I was getting these synchronicities, I chose to approach it in a different way. I chose to stay connected instead of disconnecting. And I chose to continue showing up for that relationship and for that person as much as I possibly can, and to not let the ending have a negative connotation to it. Instead of immediately jumping into, okay, I have to disconnect so I can begin to heal, I chose to heal by staying connected. And with me doing that for the first time, I'm feeling like this is an opportunity. Even though there's a disconnection that will happen, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a disconnection in the way that I've always believed it would happen, where I no longer have that person in my life. I'm allowing an ending to be a new beginning. I'm allowing the end of this connection relationship to transform into something different rather than calling it necessarily an ending. And I feel so much more optimistic. I feel so much more hopeful. I feel excited for the new things that are going to come in for me. I feel excited for the new relationships and connections that I'll make. It truly feels like the fizzling or disconnect, the end of this relationship, is giving room and way and opportunity for something new and better to come in. And new and better doesn't mean that it has to be a new person to fill that old spot. It could be the same person. I'm less concerned with what's coming in and how it's coming in to replace it, and more in the present moment feeling excited and optimistic and positive because I'm not taking it as an ending. And I think that's something that we all could practice doing. I think that's a different perspective that maybe if we all took part in that kind of perspective of not being in this place of control, restriction, and loss when something changes in our life, especially around our relationships, and allowing it to just be what it is and not necessarily revolting and, having a backlash to the fact that we know it's going to come to an end, but instead embracing the end and allowing the end to come with happiness, with optimism, with joy and peace and friendliness. And I think when we carry that kind of energy with the things that cycle in and out of our lives, that's truly when we align for those new beginnings. That's when we align with all those amazing things that can continue to come towards us. A lot of times when we experience what we call an ending, there's negative energy attached to it, which then makes it very difficult for a new positive energy to come in, or even for that current situation to turn into a positive energy because now we've put it into a negative space. So, this is just an experience that I'm going through right now. And it's the first time I've ever had this kind of perspective. And it's definitely the first time for me that I've embraced an ending and chose to stay connected to that person as long as I could, as much as I can, in such a positive way in space. And I'm allowing it to transform and seeing the opportunity of that transformation, not just for me, but for them as well. I'm embracing the cycle where this might be the end of this cycle, but there's something else coming in and I'm excited for that something else. So not everything has to be a harsh ending. Sometimes it's really not an ending at all. Usually it's not an ending. It's meant to be a transformation. It's meant to be a cycle change. It's meant to be an evolving process. And that's why I kind of name this the art of healing and the process of release, because healing is an art and it really comes in a non-literal way, which I think a lot of us don't expect. And the process of release is allowing things to go so that new things can truly come in a beautiful way for you. So I hope this helped anyone that listened. And again, I might follow up with this once I've moved through my process a little more, but I just wanted to share where I'm at with it and give opportunity for other people to have the same perspective. Thanks.